Welcome back. In last lectures of moment distribution method, we saw continuous beams, analysis of continuous beams, and now today we are starting with non-sway frames. How to analyze non-sway frames using MD method, moment distribution method. So let's see our first problem. We have a frame ABCD. Support A is fixed, support D is fixed, support C is a hinge joint, and joint B is supposed to be a rigid joint between BA, BC and BD. We are having a point load of 10 kilonewtons acting on portion AB, UDL of 2 kilonewtons per meter acting over BC. Column BD is not loaded transversely at all, and then we have span AB as 5 meters, span BC as 3 meters and span BD as 3 meters. One more important point, the second moment of area for portion AB is 2I, and for BC and for BD it is I each. So taking all these things into consideration, now we have to start with the analysis. So I write step 1, parameters, calculations, and first I am going to find fixed end moments. Why fixed end moments? Because the very methodology is to restrain all the joints, check the balance. If it is imbalanced, apply balancing moment, release the joint, let the moment get distributed, let it get carried over, again restrain the joints. Those are the iterative steps. So as a first step, I am finding out fixed end moments. I am not showing those diagrams like fixed AB, fixed BC. Those drawings I have not made because we have done this work quite often now. So fixed end moments, MFAB, standard formula, PAB squared upon L square. I substitute, I get 7.2 kilonewton meter anti-clockwise. You please calculate, you please check that you are getting these values. Small a will be the 2 meters left hand side distance, small b will be the right hand side distance of 3 meters. Substitute, you will get 7.2. Then MFBA, P a square B upon L square, that is giving me 4.8 kilonewton meter clockwise. MFBC, MFCB, both will be WL squared by 12. One will be anti-clockwise, one will be clockwise. So I am writing MFBC is equal to, my calculations give me 1.5 is equal to minus of MFCB, this is going to be clockwise. Obviously MFBD and MFDB are 0 because there is no load acting on the column BD, that is transverse loads. So that is first part taken care of. Now we go ahead with stiffness factors. We are aware 4EI upon L is our stiffness factor or rotational stiffness. So I start with K, that is stiffness factor of AB, same as that of BA because we calculated for a member, and it is going to be 4EI upon L. You are observing L, span is 5 meters. Further you are observing that I is 2I. So I am substituting carefully 4E into 2I upon 5, which is giving me 8EI upon 5, that is 1.6 times EI. So you got to be very careful while calculating these basic terms, these parameters, because they as they are will go into our MD table, and if we make a mistake here, obviously the table values will all go wrong. Stiffness factor for BC and CB, 4EI upon L, here the span is 3 meters and I is just 1I, so that I am getting 1.33 EI. So is the case with the stiffness factor for BD as well as DB. The calculation yields 1.33 times EI. So stiffness factors are taken care of. Now distribution factors. Here we have to remember that we are solving a frame and we have a T joint, rigid joint at B, which is a T joint. So let's see how do we handle it. First of all, distribution factor for AB is 0. From the well-known idea that rigid wall at A will absorb entire moment, so that for AB there will not be any distribution of applied moment. Then I go for distribution factor of BA, which by definition is stiffness of BA upon sum of stiffness of all the members meeting at B joint. That means K of BA plus K of BC plus K of BD. Stiffness of these three members, their summation, that's why I am writing K of BA upon sigma K at B point. That is equal to, now K of BA we have calculated as 1.6 times EI. EI I am not writing, assuming that it is getting cancelled from numerator and denominator. So 1.6 upon this figure is sigma K at B, that is 1.6 plus 1.33 plus 1.33. It is K of BA plus K of BC plus K of BD. BA, BC, BD. That's why this summation, which is coming out to be 4.26 and I am getting 0.38. That means whatever moment I apply at B joint, 38% of that moment will be absorbed by BA and there will be absorption in BC and BD in proportion of their distribution factors. So let us calculate those also. Distribution factor for BC, it is going to be K of BC upon sigma K at B. K of BC we have calculated as 1.33 upon, this factor is going to remain same, denominator, sum of stiffnesses. So it is 4.26. EI has got cancelled from numerator denominator. I am getting 0.31. And then I go for calculation of distribution factor of BD. Distribution factor of BD. Now we are aware that total distribution at any joint has to be 100% or 1. So if there are only 3 members meeting at a joint and 2 of the distribution factors are known to me, the last one I can easily calculate as 1 minus this minus this. That is, this summation should be equal to 1. Either you do like this or you express K of BD upon sigma K at B, you will end up getting just the same answer. So remember, in continuous beams we have 2 members meeting at a joint. In frames, if we have a T joint, we are having 3 members meeting at a joint. Sum of distribution factors of those 3 should be 1. So once I know for BA and for BC, for BD, the only remaining member, I just calculate as 1 minus this, and that is turning out to be 0.31. I go ahead, distribution factor for CB is 1. Why? Because if you observe, C is a hinge support. There is a facility of rotation. There is no resistance offered by that joint. So if I try to apply moment at C point, because of pin, the supporting base will not absorb any moment. Entire moment will be absorbed by member CB. So I am saying distribution factor for CB is 1. And distribution factor again for DB will be 0 because total moment will be absorbed by support D. So again I would like to point out, observe support A, observe support D, observe support C. A and D are infinitely stiff wall and base. Whatever moment I try to apply at A, it is completely absorbed by A. So member AB's distribution factor is 0. Similarly, whatever moment I try to apply at D, the entire moment is absorbed by the rigid base. So distribution factor for DB is 0. On the other hand, whatever moment I try to apply at C, because of the pin connection, no part of that moment will be absorbed by the supporting base. Total moment will be absorbed by member CB. So distribution factor for member CB is 1. And of course for B, we have already discussed how is the distribution division. Great. So all these parameters are ready. Fixed end moments, stiffnesses, distribution factors, and now we go for moment distribution table. So that is what I have written here. Step 2, MD table. We start with joint. I have written A, B, C, D. Here we got to be a bit careful because at B joint we are having 3 members meeting. Whatever moment I apply at B, it will get distributed in 3 members. Not only that, it will get carried over to the other ends of those 3 members. So here my writing and my calculations have to be very neat, very steadily I have to perform my calculations. So let's see how we are writing our members below the joints now. Here I am writing AB and under B I am writing BA. Deliberately I am not writing BC here but I am writing BD here, then BC, and under C I am writing C. So the precaution that I am taking here is AB and BA, they lie in one column, BC and CB, they lie in one column, and then this BD and this DB, this is something I really cannot help because my writing of the table is going to be vertical and we do not have a 3-dimensional writing facility. Our paper is a 2-dimensional entity, or even this green board is 2-dimensional. If I want to write, I have to write vertically below only. So I have to write this BD and then this DB under joint D slightly away from each other, but at least to avoid confusion and at least to avoid mixing, jumbling, what care I am taking, I am not writing BA, BC, BD. Though while announcing these members, we usually go in this sequence, BA, BC, BD. But while writing in table, I am taking care that BA is in the same column of AB, BC is in the same column of CB because my joint C is there, and then BD and DB I have to write slightly away from each other, but I will take care while doing my calculations. Now that the heading for our table is clear to you, let's go ahead with the first row entries, not first cycle. We are still in the phase of compiling the data. I am writing distribution factors and those I am choosing obviously from here. So we have 0, 0.38, 0.31, 0.31, 1 and 0 already discussed in details while discussing all this. So I have just picking up values from here and copying them. Next step, fixed end moments. For that I am choosing my values from here. Anti-clockwise as per sign convention positive, clockwise as per sign convention negative. So I am simply writing fixed end moments 7.2, negative 4.8, 1.5, negative 1.5, 0, 0. You can confirm from here. Again, please do take care that it is BA, BD, BC and not BA, BC, BD. So write the entries, whether distribution factor or fixed end moments correctly. Now, how do I check the balance? So try to understand B is a rigid joint between 3 members. For equilibrium, for balance of this joint, it is essential that M of BA plus M of BC plus M of BD should be equal to 0. Sum of these 3 moments, taking care of clockwise, anti-clockwise, plus and minus, taking care of that, the sum should be 0. So I just observe minus 4.8 plus 0 plus 1.5, this summation is not coming out to be 0. that means there is an imbalance. How much is imbalance? Minus 4.8 plus 1.5. That figure is the imbalance. That figure is, by the way, going to be minus 3.3. You can check even by simple mental calculation. It is going to be negative 3.3. So if it is negative 3.3, I apply positive 3.3, which gets distributed as 0.38 into 3.3, 0.31 into 3.3, 0.31 into 3.3. Check. Similarly, here we have minus 1.5. I apply for balance positive 1.5. Since distribution factor is 1, 1.5 into 1, I am writing here 1.5. Here the distribution factor is 0. So whatever I multiply it with, it is going to be 0. Here the distribution factor is 0. Though I do have positive 7.2 moment here, if I apply clockwise 7.2, if I apply negative 7.2 into 0, I am writing here 0. So I have distributed all these moments. Now they will be carried over to the farther ends. And this is where writing this BA, BD, BC in that particular sequence comes in very handy. See what is happening from BA, that is from joint B, half the moment is coming to joint A. From this, half is going here. I am deliberately shown those cross arrows so that it will be clear to you that as far as these two columns are concerned, moments have to be carried over within the column only, not somewhere else. Similarly, half of this will go here, half of this will go here. And now I should not forget that whatever is absorbed by BD, whatever is absorbed by BD, half of that goes to D. And whatever is absorbed by DB, half of that comes to B. So there is a connection which is here, BD and DB. While solving the first problem, you may show that particular curved arrow, connecting arrow, but not in exam, not later on, and you won't need it also. So the moment absorbed by BD is 1.02, half of that is going to the end D as 0.51. And moment absorbed by DB is 0 at D joint, half of that means 0 only is coming to B joint. So remember, half of this here, half of this here, half of this all the way here, B to D, and half of this all the way here, D to B. So that precaution you have to take, otherwise this problem and the technique and the steps is no novelty for you at all. It is just like solving continuously. Great, let us proceed. Again, this summation should be 0, but it is not 0, it is 0.75. That means there is an imbalance of 0.75. So I apply negative 0.75, which gets distributed as 0.38 into negative 0.75, 0.31 into negative 0.75, 0.31 into negative 0.75. Clearly you are observing that since these two distribution factors are same, these values or these values, they are also going to be same. Because in both those members, BC as well as BD, 31% of moment is going to be absorbed. Great. This is 0.51. So I apply negative 0.51 due to distribution factor being 1. I am getting here negative 0.51. Whatever is the value here, opposite of that I try to apply, but distribution factor is 0, so I write 0 here. That is negative 0.51 multiplied by 0 is 0. Here also I have negative, I have 0.63. So I apply negative 0.63, but I get 0 here because multiplying by 0, distribution factor, I am getting 0. Great. So the moments have got distributed and now they will get carried over. Half of this here, half of this here, half of this there, half of that here, half of this all the way to D, that is here, and half of this means 0 will be coming here. So just take care of B and D, rest is simple. Moments got carried over. This was my cycle number 1, this is my cycle number 2, and now again observing an imbalance of negative 0.26. Just observe, here there was imbalance of negative 3.3. Then it became imbalance of positive 0.75. Now it has become imbalance of negative 0.26. So that is how it is slowly converging to the accuracy, to the balance. Negative 0.26, so I apply positive 0.26, it gets distributed in 3 members as 0.38 into 0.26, 0.31 into 0.26, 0.31 into 0.26, again these two values are same. I apply positive 0.115 but I get 0 here because DF is 0, and I apply positive 0.15 here but again DF is 0, so I get 0. Moments got distributed, then they will get carried over, so half of this goes here, half of this comes here, half of this goes there, half of that comes here, half of this from B will go to D, and half of this will come here. So only take care of BD, DB. I have done 3 iteration cycles. Usually, as I commented earlier also, usually we go for 3 cycles. So I have done 3 cycles. I will again distribute this moment and I will just take a cross check whether I am getting a balanced joint or not. So 0.06. See, now the moment to be distributed, the imbalance amount has reduced to a very small factor, that is 0.06. So here I am writing negative 0.06 because imbalance is 0.06. So I am applying negative 0.06. Then negative 0.06 into 0.38, negative 0.06 into 0.31, negative 0.06 into 0.31. Similarly, negative 0.04 into 1, that I am writing here. Negative 0.04 into 0, so that I am writing here. And negative 0.05 into 0, so 0, that again I am writing. Great. So I have again distributed the moments at the end of my 3rd iteration cycle. And now how do I check whether the joint is balanced or not? Very simply, I will sum up these moments, but I will not include distribution factor, mind you. It's a factor, it's not a moment. You are summing up moments. So I start from this plus this plus this plus this plus this. This has given me negative 3.76. Please calculate, please check whether you get all these entries. There might be some rounding of error, approximation error, that is alright. But otherwise you should end up getting very nearby answers, close by answers. So I am getting negative 3.76 here. Then I add all these moments and not the distribution factor. I get 0.86 here. Now somebody may say, sir, this is negative 3.76. This has to be positive 3.76. No. We are not just having 2 members meeting here so that I get this and this equal and opposite. No. We are having 3 members. We are having a T joint. So after finding this summation, I again go ahead and I take this summation. This is moments which have got distributed in the 3rd member meeting at the same joint. And this summation turns out to be 2.91. Now how do I know whether the joint is balanced or not? Here you remember negative 4.8 plus 0 plus 1.5. I had taken a summation sigma m at B point or B joint, and this summation had turned out to be negative 3.3, and we had commented that this was not a balanced joint. So the same thing I am doing here. I will take a summation negative 3.76 plus 0.86 plus 2.91. Take this summation. you will find that the sum is coming out to be 0.01, that is nearly 0. So I am saying that since the moments summation at B joint has come to 0, this joint has got balanced. Similarly, you check this summation, you will get a 0, which is what we expect because this is an exterior hinge joint. At exterior hinge joint, MCB has to be 0. I take this summation, here I am getting 0.435, that is we are talking about this joint. So because this member, this column is rigidly connected at B to the remaining structure, though there is no transverse load anywhere on joint BD, because of the rotation of joint B, some movement will be generated at D point, and that movement is small in amount, of course, 0.435 kilonewton meter. And in the same way, here also I am getting some movement because we actually have a load acting near joint A. So I do end up getting 7.73 kilonewton meter as my end moment at A point. Great. Balancing of this joint indicates that you have done enough cycles of iteration and you have achieved the required equilibrium in the entire frame. After this, the next steps you are very well aware of. Either you directly go for superposition of end moments and span moments, you will directly generate bending moment diagram, or you draw FBD of AB, BC and BD, show the end moments, find the end shears. From that you may generate SFD, and from that you may develop BMD on compression side or even BMD on tension side, whatever is the requirement conventionally. So again, since we have done this often enough, I am leaving this exercise for the students to finish. We have analyzed one non-sway frame using moment distribution method, and the only speciality or only part where you need to pay attention is at B joint, how you write these members. It is BA, BD, BC. BC and CB should be your neighboring entries, so that the carried over factor portion is very simple, and of BD, the counterpart at joint D, we are writing far away. We have to write far away, that is our DB, and then half of this distributed moment goes here, half of this comes here, so on and so forth, as we actually saw while writing this table. So yes, again, solving a frame by MD method is very simple. Do the practice, solve all the problems that I am solving here. With me you actually try to calculate, and then open any good reference book. Try to solve problems from there. I am sure you will be able to find the answers.